It is Monday afternoon, and after a whole lot of waiting, I finally got this in this box. How cool is that, huh? And I was a little afraid at first because the box was sort of torn right there, and it was taped over, but the tape looks really old, and it looks like she's been around some. So then I opened the box, and I got this, and then this also made me a little afraid. See that? Looks like it's been around the block, but there are no marks here, and there are no witness marks on the plugs. And look right there, it says GM on it. I just think it's been battered around the box for a lot of years, so I'm hoping this is going to fix it. That's cool. The box is cool, and this is really cool. Look at this, 1982. So my goodness, this is really cool, and it has just, that is just worth the whole price of admission there. Now I paid a little extra for this thing because it said that it was let me get that out of the way. That's funny. April 15th here, and it said April 15th on my tag thing. So anyway, worth waiting for. So we're going to put that in the this is going in the Spitfire. I almost forgot when it's been so long. But I also got some of these rectifier diode things. They're rated kind of heavy for a car, but that's not the point. These are just cool, and I'm certainly gonna put one of these in the Healy because I think that might be part of the basis for it running on. Although I don't think that really, but it's worth a shot. And I've already tested it with my meter here. See, it has the diode tester. This one doesn't have a diode tester, but I wouldn't give anything for it. I do love it. I have a diode tester if I need that. So rare that I do that. So, you know, there's the flow goes that away. So I got 10 of those, 5 pair. I don't know why they put it like that. But I saw this the other day. I thought it was cool. Black glue sticks. And these are supposed to be a little bit more industrial. And so forth. You can tell I'm addicted because I'm watching stuff about other. But these are these things feel very strong. They don't feel like regular glue sticks. I think them's a little tougher. And my glue gun is a rather old one. My hot glue gun. Well, it's cold glue right now because it ain't plugged in. How many horsepower does that motor make? Well, none right now because it's not running. Don't you hate guys like that? But anyway, they apparently make these in all kind of different colors. So I think it'll be fine. I think, you know, like I think I said earlier, I sometimes will use this on electrical things to insulate the wires if I'm in a tough spot. Works pretty good. Good as black tape that falls off, or I use 3M tape or whatever else, you know. So I think this is a good backup for that. So happy about all of this. I can't believe it. This is just priceless to me. So Anderson, Indiana. Printed in USA. That is just cool. I'll tell you one other thing I kind of found interesting when I got this box. It's a D680, and then it says D668, and it says it right there. And so I thought, okay, interesting. So here's the brand new one, the brand new one to me anyway, as of about 15 minutes ago. And so here's the one that was in the one that was made in some Oriental country that will remain unnamed. But this is the newer one. It's probably not more than a year or two old. But see, there's D668 on that one, not D680. I don't know. I know that I got roped into using the one-wire alternator things. I don't really like those. This is the one that you have to have the exciter wire, and it has the thing for the lamp. I think that's the one that we'll figure it out later. It's on the back. Ooh, that's the new one, so I don't care about dropping that one because I don't think it works anyway. Yeah, yeah, that bottom one's the light. It don't matter. We'll figure it. I'll show you in a minute. So I've checked this. There's a million YouTube videos on how to check alternators. So y'all do that. I checked the diode Trio. I checked everything I could. The rectifier for dead shorts and everything. I checked the brush set. So I think it'll be fine. So we're gonna have to get it together and hook it up and see if it charges. I think that's the whole point, isn't it? We're back down here again, and we're going to put the alternator in, and we're going to see if she charges or not. Hope it does. Okay, so I gave up. I hooked up that alternator, and it ran 1 mile or so, and it popped back down to 12 volts. And so something else burned up in there, or something else is causing some other problem. So here comes the answer. Let me go out there and get them. Okay, here's the Updock Auto box, and not a sponsor. So let's see how I did there. Pretty good. Let's see what we got for the old Spitfire. Lucy Lou. I think that's my wiper arms, or wiper blades or something. So here's what I've been waiting on. Not a sponsor either. I gotta find my... Oh good, there's some instructions. There's gonna be my wiring diagram I'm gonna talk about here. Are we back all the way in? Yeah. Okay, so we'll talk about that here in a minute. Okay, you're going to have to wait right there. Just for a second. Oh, there it is. Wow, I actually had one of those. So, hard to see it, but it's a Mercedes. You didn't borrow Laura's Mercedes. Okay, let's see. 360. Well, that looks like that's a 300D, or I can't really see it. It looks like a 300D on the badge on the boot lid. That's a good looking car in that. Remember, they were seem to always be yellow. So let's see. Here's more instructions. Stop. This is not a battery charger. Okay. Always remember, an alternator is not a battery charger. A battery charger is a battery charger. Okay. Ooh, it's got all the AC Delco stickers. Let me get it out of the plastic wrap here. And, ooh, it's not marked. Well, it's okay. It's not marked R and F on the post. Okay, there we go. Let's get that going. Let's get, I have to move the camera a little bit and read all of this stuff here. Alright, so there's your book for that, and there's your thing for that. Alright, so we have what I expected. Look, it got wonked right there, but there's your uncoded. I think the F is on the right and the R is on the left. It's gonna be one way or the other, huh? And there's my stickers. Uh-oh, that's not reman. That N will get you right there, but anyway, we'll see. Don't work, send it back. Flint, Michigan. Okay, well, make up your mind. Michigan or China? Okay, for General Motors. Okay, so it says AC Delco. They got the stamp and everything. Let's make sure. You know, I got an alternator one time that didn't spin around. That's not good. So yeah, that feels pretty good. Okay, so we got that going for us. So there is that part of it right there. It took me a long time to sort this out. Now, my problems are starter problems because I don't have an accessory thing to it. There it is. Okay, let's see what this is. Okay, so this should be the 4-post or 5-post actually, if you include the earthing thing. So let's see what's in here. Oop, throw it to the floor. We're going to take the one off the Bonneville. See, there's your earthing right there. And it's not going to earth to right here, I don't think. So you got to make sure you do that one. One should be F234. F234. Okay. I was hoping it'd say AC Delco. Made in, ooh, there we go. Made in USA. Well, maybe the two continents will talk to each other nicely. I don't know. So there we are. All right, so we're gonna, since we got all this stuff here, we're gonna go into this wiring diagram, and we'll put that right there. I don't know if this is true or not. Okay, now the Spitfire has like an Austin Healy key switch in it, so it's just 2 contacts, so there is no accessory. And then it has a push button starter just like the Healy, because that's the way I like it. I like being able to switch the ignition on and then hit a separate starter button. I don't know why, it's just kind of the way I grew up and like it. So there's your let's see if I was going to use this as a pointer, so I'll use this as a pointer. This old cross pin. So let's do it like this. John's supposed to be here in a minute, so we'll see how that goes. Okay. So there's your battery, and you can either have a junction box or whatever, but your main cable goes to the main battery terminal. Let's get the alternator out. Turn it upside down so I can show you what we're talking about here. Now, some people say you don't need to run an earthing strap on your alternator. Yeah, you do. You really do. And I don't care what kind of car it's on, you really should have an earthing strap on your alternator. I've got enough boxing material. So we're going to turn it this way. Okay, so your big 10 gauge wire with a diode or fuse, you want to go to right here. Okay, that's your big battery terminal. And I think that's going to be R. I think that's going to be F. And the F is going to go. He's still not here yet. Okay, so there's your earthing one right here. It goes to earth. Battery goes to earth. So your F, which would be, I think, the right one, goes to your field coil. Your R goes to 2. Your 3 somehow or another goes to direct battery. I put a fuse in there too. Anything coming off the battery, you need to put a fuse on it. And so just imagine fuses all along here. And then 4 should go to your ignition lamp, and it needs to be an incandescent, not an LED, unless you want to put a diode in it of some kind, or a resistor, I should say. And so I'm going to put a one-way diode on all of these things that I think I showed earlier. Oh, there it is right there on screen, that diode thing. So that's good. That's the wiring diagram right there. Now this is a Delco C635. See, C635. But you can get cheaper ones if you want them. And there comes the Denali. Okay, well, enough of this for now. Okay, so John's here, but we're going to keep talking about Spitfire. So I got some new wiper blades, and I don't know if there's going to be too long. We'll sort that out when we get there. But the main reason I went with this old system was because I want to make sure I get an indicator light. I don't know if I said that earlier. But the other thing I didn't say about the wiring diagram was, for some reason off post 4, they go to the accessory on your key switch. I don't have that, because mine's from 1957. It's an old to contact, like I said, I think a minute ago. But we've been talking, I kind of lost track. So anyway, I don't know. I think you just leave that off then. I don't know. But if you have the accessory, I don't know what size resistor you would put in there. I have no idea what they're calling for because it's so hard to find anything online. So this is a combination of 2 or 3 different wiring diagrams to try to just get to this one. So anyway, that's that. Okay, let's move on to trucks. It is several days later. Let's get to work. You want to? That one don't work. So it did work, now it don't. So I'm going to try to... Now this used to have a regulator right here, and I've already got the hardware there, so that's where we're going to put our new regulator. Okay, well, over my travels here and heavy equipment work, I've ended up with all these alternators. I got 4 alternators, and I'm going to take them in and see which ones work. I will not be trading them in because I want to see. Now this one's a different one. I think that's the Honda one. Yeah, I think that's the Honda one. That one don't have a fan on it for whatever reason. Yeah, it's got all the FR, L, S and G sensor and everything. So that's a little bit more complicated one. So I got these 4 alternators here. I'm going to take in, have them checked, and we'll take back a couple of batteries and some oil and stuff like that next time I go to the big boy. Okay, so hopefully I'll get one out of those 4 that's decent. Well, I just put a new 194 bulb in right here. I had a 194 LED with a resistor across it, and that LED was dead. I ran it and it was dead. So now that I've got my new wiring harness design here, we're gonna go all in. And now I got an ignition wire on one side, and then this wire coming out, going to over here somewhere in a minute. But I do have an ignition wire. Let's see, I don't remember. I'll work it out. I got to think about it. But anyway, new bulb. Okay, so we're back at the Bonneville here. See, I can prove it. See, wow. And there's the original regulator box right here, and it's a 4-wire with only 2 wires going to it. I'm going to leave that sucker there, but I do see the F234, just like on the one I got. So that's been on there since 1964, so we ain't going to mess with it. So, okay, well I said I'd tell you it was over here. Okay, it's over here. I told you. There's my first wire, earthing wire. So there we go. Alright, starting out here anyway. Like I said, I got a place to mount it, and I got the screws and everything, so looking good. So I don't know how long this will take. What time is it now? 4:42. Okay. Alright, so yesterday I hooked everything up. There's what this looks like with it with the cover off of it, because I struck it all up and it didn't strike it all up. It didn't come up. It didn't come on. But anyway, first of all, new tool alert. A 22800 wheel stud installer. Pretty groovy, huh? And I guess that part goes against the hub or whatever it is you're doing, and spins, and then you put your wheel nut in there and tighten it up. Get an old one or anything like that. So it wasn't expensive. And it ain't one of them things you need every day, but I'm glad to have it, and we're gonna put it right there. So the thing that back to this, I usually just you have so few problems with alternators that you don't know what to do. So this is supposed to be magnetized right here. That ain't got no magnet to it at all. That's got nothing going for it. That's been a great tool too. So I've been doing all kind of research and looking at it. I think I've got the R and the F thing right. I've been making all kind of notes down here and everything else. And if it don't work today, I'm just going to give up and get a 3-wire and do it. But I kind of really wanted this to work. I don't know why, because I converted everything else from control boxes. But anyway, British control boxes are different. They're very, very expensive. I think one for, sorry about the wind noise, I can't do anything about it. It's like 35-mile-an-hour gusts today, so I can't do anything about it. So anyway, I'm going to touch the R right here, and if you look at the back of one of these 34 2110s, that should be right. So you're supposed to touch the R, which is the idiot lamp one, to the battery to magnetize the alternator. And some dudes, I saw a guy do it. He actually put a switch on his dashboard so he could just flip it momentarily and energize his alternator so he wouldn't have to rev up his cold motor. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm not going to take it out in the real cold. It should self-excite. But that's got nothing to it there at all. What else have I got that's magnetized? Let's see. Got my diodes ready to go. Yeah, there's just nothing there. Well, let's see if we can get a hella pop in there and get those to spark off and everything. I will say this. I don't know if I could. I can't. It's taking days and days and days for me to do this. This going from the 4 through your accessory into whatever hot lead battery or whatever. Don't do that. I did that yesterday with a fuse in line. It just blew it instantly because the 4-post. There's the 4-post. Is connected directly to earth. That's the earth thing right there. See, the 4-post and the earth wire are cast together, I guess is the best way to say it. What popped that thing in no time? I don't know anything about these GM things. I do now. I'm getting there. So let's I'm going to disconnect the field coil up here or down there. I don't know, wherever. I'm going to do it opposite, and I'm going to get the R coil, and you have to have it running and around 2,000 RPMs to magnetize this. I'm going to do all that. Just trust me, I'm going to do it, and then we'll see if it's magnetized in a few minutes. I'm going to try to open one of these doors. I hope it works. So anyway, that's where we are now. Okay, so I messed up. I don't know how exactly. I disconnected the field wire, and I disconnected the 2-wire that goes to the R terminal, and I turned the key on and it let the smoke out of it. I took them out, I guess. Well, I can point to it with this. You can see right here, right there, that's burned apart. That just lit right off, and I didn't do anything. And so don't let that happen to you, I guess, is the key thing. I should have just disconnected the whole thing, but I didn't, and it burned it right smack up. So I'm glad I had the cover off of it to see that had happened. I hadn't done the magnetron mess yet, so I think I'm going to take, once I get it magnetized, if I get it magnetized, I'm going to take that off with all my other alternators and just have them check it when I go up to the auto parts store and do it that way. So I ordered a cheaper VR103T regulator, and guess I learned my lesson. See, I had the battery's disconnected because I'm charging it, making sure we got plenty of charge. So there's the R wire. And I took the field coil wire and tied it off so it wasn't touching anything, and it just burned it slap up. So I don't know. I know I'm going about this the hard way, but I just really want to learn. And I've been doing this, I think, since I was maybe 14 or 15 on these voltage regulator things, and I know better. But I've never done any GM stuff. I've done Chris Craft stuff. growing up, we had boats, and it was a little 16-foot run, the Sea Sport runabout. I've done this stuff in Harris float boats and other stuff, which is a different application because it's, you know, watertight and everything. But it's still the same thing. So I just blew it up. So there goes $60 right up in smoke or down the tubes or something. Dadgummit. Well, let's see if we can get this to magnetize. That'd be something I can do today. Just so you can see it better, there's the contact that was right here, and it burned a spot in it too. Come on, focus. Well, whatever. It burned a spot in it, but this came out of right here, and so it just burned it right to pieces. Well, guess it's better than starting a fire. So you can see the little burn spot there at 6 o'clock, and so that's a goner. At least I got an extra cover and a gasket and some screws. That looks like that could be kind of fixable, but I don't think I can trust it anymore. All right, well, everything else is disconnected. The earth don't matter. The hot wire is there. I guess I don't think a fuse would have helped me there. Well, it's on a fuse, and so you know, it's kind of a big fuse. So everything else is tied off. This is the indicator light. So let's see if we can magnetize this thing now. Safety squints on. Okay, she sure is smooth. So this is the wire going to the R. We got to get her to 2000, so if you can see it, fine. If you can't, fine. All right, well, I touched it. Alright, let's see if it's magnetized now. Don't have to worry about it running on from the I gotta say no. I'll take this sucker off and take it to the store. Let me take it off just right now. Well, just because it's new don't mean it works right. Alright, well, let's take it off and put it in the truck. And I'll tell you the truth, guys, I'm going to call this one quits. This is long enough. So give me a thumbs up and console with me a little bit, and we'll get everything hooked back up and try to see what we can do later. But this is what I get for kind of going into a world I don't know. But that's the only way you find out, is by learning and doing. So I learned. Alright, thanks again for spending time with me here in the shop. And Pandora never even came on, but it don't matter. Got enough wind to keep me company. But I already taken another alternator out. Before we get too far, I do not think that 13-inch blades are going to work here. Well, we'll find out. Don't think so. At least I take that stuff off. Don't care about that anyway. It says exact fit. Doesn't say to what though, does it? Alright, so daggum if I don't think they're gonna work. Boy, just barely, but that's all you want. Let me tell you a trick. Put a cloth, a towel or something underneath here, because if you let this spring back in without the blade on it, it'll crack your windshield. I've seen it done twice. So worked at the auto parts store. Well, that could work. Alright, I'm for it. Not that I use them a lot, but anyway, better than them things. I'll be dogged. I don't know. It's going to be mighty close. You know, if you have to, just let it, just cut a little bit of that off if you have to. How often am I going to use the blades on this thing, though? Okay, interesting. Okay, well, let's go do the other side. I'll take my own advice there. So as we all know, the driver one's bent a little bit, so it'll clear the screen more. But all right, well, let's turn the battery on. She's set on park, so let's see if they park. Oh, Well, I didn't have the key on. You gotta have the key on. I put the key in, but didn't turn it on. So, okay, now it ought to park. Okay, cool. All right. Well, that looks a little better to me. Just push them down, and then there you go. All right. Battery disconnected. We can go back to the alternator business now. So let's look at what those were. Because you gotta remember the windscreen and Spitfires and TR4s. Be sure and look up, and TR6s and all that stuff are all the same. Motors are different stuff. So it's a 13-1, and that went easier than I thought it was going to. Yeah, I got the big subwoofer back here. It's a heck of a radio. Okay. That kind of ended abruptly, so I don't like for it to end like that. So 16 miles an hour. Whew, everything blowing around out there. No hummingbirds yet. I'll let you know when they get here. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I appreciate you spending time with me trying to sort all this out. I'm actually, I'll give you a little bit of an update here. I pulled this out of the Bonneville, and she had kind of a little blown wire there, and this is a 3-post deal, and I've looked at the wiring diagram on that. A lot simpler. I may try that. I may fix this wire, and just, I mean, it can't hurt to try. Just put a little some kind of lightweight wire on that. See if this 3-poster, when fires up, say the 2 is missing, and the Bonneville had an amp meter in it, so I've got some amp meters. So I'm going to I might try that next time around. Okay, but for now, let's take some time off and wait for some stuff to get here and go check those other alternators. Talk to you later. Thanks again. Bye-bye. Just giving you something to look at here as we wind down. See the wind blowing I think that's winter rye. I asked her what it was, and she just said, "You're welcome." She didn't tell me what it was. So if you know what that is, put in the comments below. I think it's winter rye that she planted out there. But all right, let's go.